Welcome to UNSTR8T, the podcast where we explore LGBTQ+ stories, share insights, and dive deep into what it means to truly love and accept ourselves. I'm Mitch Dyer, a mindset and life transformation strategist and proud gay man and ally, here to guide you on a journey of healing, thriving, and embracing who you are. Whether you're navigating your identity, seeking peace and happiness, simply wanting to feel more empowered, or just want to learn more about our community, this podcast is for you. Welcome to your safe space. Let's get growing. Hey, welcome to UNSTR8T. I'm Mitch Dyer, your host, and today I have something pretty exciting for me. It's a high school friend that we have not spoken since we graduated. We've texted back and forth a little bit, but this is going to be the first time that we've reconnected since my whole coming out journey. So yeah, I'm going to be letting him in the room here in just a second, and we're going to talk and just see where it goes, catch up, and you're going to be able to follow along and just hear our conversation live. And this is going to be fun. The first time that we have caught up since graduation. We were childhood friends, and I'm excited for just to see where the call goes. I'm a little bit nervous, actually. I don't even know why, but probably because I'm putting it on a podcast. But I told him we would edit out anything we didn't want people to hear, if it was too personal or if it would, potentially be hurtful to someone, if we're talking about the past and just how I got where I am and where he's been through high school, all of that. I'm waiting on his call, so I'm just going to stay on here until he calls. I told him, give me 1 minute, and yeah, hopefully he's calling soon. I'm waiting. He just said, let me get my lipstick on. No, there he is, Newman. Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
This is amazing, man.
You are so tan.
Oh, I got way too much sun yesterday. I was out on the beach. I live right in front of the beach. We have this little condo right in the beachfront. Amazing. So beautiful.
Imagine that.
My God. I was just doing the math, sitting here waiting, and we've texted back and forth, obviously, a couple of times over the years, but 37 years since we last spoke and saw each other in person.
That's stupid.
It's crazy. I mean, I haven't lived where you live most of the time, but
right. Well, I haven't lived in Columbus forever.
We have so much to catch up on.
Okay, where are we starting?
Exactly. Where do you want to start? Let's start like after high school. Like what did you do right after high school?
After high school, I started working in the theme parks. I did Kings Island and Carowinds, Geauga Lake. I did all that.
Theme shows?
Yeah. And then I started working on cruise ships in probably 92. And I did that for ever and a day.
So
doing
fun.
shows. And then when
Was
I got
fun?
on...
You enjoyed the ships? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome. I still love cruising. I go all the time. And then after that, I ended up living in West Palm Beach because I met a guy there. We stayed together for a while. And then I just got bored. I started doing hair. And I thought, well, I think I'm just going to move back to Ohio. I was ready for a change. So I moved to Columbus. I know nothing.
What?
About what you did.
No.
Because you got married and had 2 boys and lived in New Jersey.
Yeah, I went right after high school. I moved to Dallas to work in my uncle's church there in Plano, Texas, and I was doing music.
Where was that?
What we graduated, 87, 88?
Oh.
I went right after high school.
Okay.
And I stayed there like a year, and fast forward a year later, I felt like this call to do ministry, and I was going to go to a Bible college, and that was connected to the organization I was part of, the denomination. And so I came back and went to Bible college, met the wife who I married, my now ex-wife, there at school. There's a whole lot of story in between, but then right after we graduated there, we moved to Houston, Texas, and I was a youth pastor. I worked there as a youth pastor for a few years, and then we ended up back in Columbus. And that's where Seth and Hayden were born. 95.
Okay.
I remember moving in the moving truck. Trish was like 6 or 7 months pregnant with Seth, with my first son.
Where is she from? Texas?
She's from the East Coast. She's from Delaware. The school I went to
Oh,
was in Dover, Delaware,
okay.
and she was from that home church.
My neighbor lives in or is from Smyrna.
Oh yeah, man, I passed through Smyrna. Oh my God, quick funny story about Smyrna. So the pastor's wife was like the dean of the college, and she would, if she would find out that guys and girls were like, doing too much or crossing the line or whatever, she would have a meeting with all of the students, and she would say, "Hey, Smyrna is just about, 5-10 miles up the road, and I can get in the car and I can drive the speed limit and get there, or I can mash on the gas pedal and I can go to Smyrna straight away." She's like, "That's how some of you need to take your relationships. You need to slow it down and not be so quick to get to Smyrna." And so
Ah,
then we all had this running joke of like, they're going to Smyrna, or hey, you want to go to Smyrna tonight?
that's hilarious.
So Smyrna, that's crazy. We're having all these, we know similar places or some similar people that we didn't even go to school with, or
Yeah,
like you're
it's
saying,
crazy.
small. That's
Right.
really crazy.
Crazy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. So then, yeah, we ended up back in Columbus. I was there 12 years. Whole other story I could get into. When that was done, we started traveling, and I was going to different churches, like we were being like guest worship on the weekends, or doing a workshop with their music teams. And one of the places we went to was this big church in New Jersey, outside of New York City, and they were actually looking to hire somebody.
Oh,
We weren't looking to move to New Jersey. We were like thinking we were traveling, but it just kind of happened, and we ended up in New Jersey, and I was there for at that church like 10 years, and then another 4 or 5 after. So I lived in New Jersey, I think like 15, 16 years before moving here to Brazil.
and when did you move to Brazil?
September 23.
Okay, so not
I've been
just
here
last
a little over
year.
a year.
Okay. So you said something about 2017. What happened? When did you get divorced and all that stuff?
Yeah, 2017 is when, and I won't go into all the gory details because I think I'm gonna like bring that all out at once, just as like a well thought out storyline or whatever. I was the worship leader, creative director at this church, and obviously struggling with all this stuff inside that had always been there, just below the surface. I was living this double life. I was leading worship and being a ministry on weekends and all through the week, working for the church. But on the side, I was on the apps. I
Oh, you
was
were?
meeting guy. Yeah, it was this total double life for
Yeah.
like more than 30 years. And I say that I was, I regret so much of that part of my life, but I was legitimately trying to fill a need, a real need that I had in my life, but in unhealthy ways.
Well, but you didn't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What else you
I
gonna
didn't
do?
know what.
You didn't know that you were being bad, or did you?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, you did.
I mean, in fact, I thought I was being really, really bad because I thought like even who I was bad. I believed, and just until a few years ago, I had to grapple with like the whole theology of, is it wrong to be gay, or not to be gay, but like, is
For you to
homosexuality
be
a
gay.
sin?
Yeah.
Anyone.
Well,
But I mean, like,
the Bible says it is. From what I've
the
heard.
interpretations of scripture look like they say that, but the translations and the culture and the context, there's a whole lot more into it. I mean, if you ever like want to just know like what the Bible says and what it doesn't say, that the Christians say that it says, I would suggest reading a few books. Unclobber is my go-to. It's called
Oh,
Unclobber by a friend of mine, Colby Martin. But anyway, so yeah, that was my belief system, and so I knew I was going against it, and I just hit rock bottom. I hit a place where I was like, I can't do this anymore.
yeah.
And at that same time, I had actually met someone and we had a brief affair, a few months, and I broke it off with him because I was like, what the hell am I doing? I'm like, I'm married, I'm working for a church.
Sorry.
Is that a home phone?
No. No.
I was like, people
My
still have
cell
home
phone rings
phones?
like a home. It's called the classic ring.
No, it's amazing. Where was I on my way too long story of what you asked me? Oh yeah, I had met someone. I broke it off because I'm like, I'm married, I work for a church, but that like sent me into this tailspin of like a depression. I was just like, I'll never have what I felt with him. I'll never be able to be this happy. And it wasn't as though I lived a miserable life. I was happy, but it was
Yeah.
just like this relationship with my ex-wife, who, by the way, is a beautiful, amazing, talented woman. It's just, I could only love her up to a point, up to what I was capable of.
Did you have to sit down and explain all this to her?
Uh,
Or
some of
how did
some
that
of it,
it,
so I was still unpacking it and processing it myself. So, I was in a year of therapy that was kind of like low-key conversion therapy. Your sister
yeah.
reached out to me. I'm curious, is this how you and I like reconnected? Because like, did Gina somehow stumble across
Yeah.
my page or
Because
something? And she's like, Ron, you got to take a look.
I hadn't heard anything. And she sent me this picture and she said, guess who just came out? And I was like, oh my God. I said, I have got to get a hold of him somehow, some way. And then in my mind, because we were friends at one time on Facebook, and then we weren't. And I remember
Really?
messaging a little bit, but then it just
Hmm.
stopped. And I thought, well, maybe he's just not speaking to me anymore. I
I
didn't know.
disappeared from this account
I
for
didn't know.
like 5 years.
So I thought I'm going to at least try to and hope that he'll return my message and friend me on Facebook. I can't believe we're not friends on Facebook.
Yeah, that's surprising. If we were and then we weren't, I don't ever
I
remember.
don't know.
Don't know
I
why
have
I
no
would.
idea. All of a sudden you were there and then you weren't.
I think I actually deactivated that account. I didn't delete it, but then I reactivated it recently and kind of came out on this account by accident. I made a post that said, "Hey everybody, I know I like disappeared, but I'm back and I'm looking forward to reconnecting with everybody. Oh, and if you're curious what I've been up to the past 5 years, here's
Not
my
much.
here's my business account," and I put a link to my Mitch Dyer, like the coaching and the consulting stuff I do, and didn't even really think about it. And then realizing if everybody goes to this link, there's everything.
Yeah.
And then so then I did a follow-up post, and I'm like, hey, I realize I kind of inadvertently came out to everybody. I hope we're still gonna be friends, or
It
text
is
me,
what it
ask
is.
questions. Yeah.
This day and age, no problem.
And I heard from a few people who actually disagree, but they've still chosen to remain friends. And I've mostly not heard from people, just silence or even unfriended.
That's
Like
okay.
it's okay, yeah.
That's how
I
you
mean,
know who your true friends are.
so cool to
I
reconnect.
was so happy that you responded because, I think back to, I don't even remember what happened, how it happened. I just remember that I was pretty crappy to you going into high
Really,
school. Yes. I think I said something like, we can't be friends anymore. I don't know, something stupid because we were such good friends.
like childhood, like elementary, and then
Childhood,
I don't
I
remember
don't know
middle
about
school
middle
much.
school. I don't remember. But then high school, we just didn't even talk.
Really,
Yeah.
I was
And
gonna
I think I
actually
may
take the
have said
conversation back
something
to high school
stupid.
because you were like friends with everybody. Small high school. I think we had like what 120 in our graduating class.
I think 140, close to 140.
God, okay, so but small,
Small.
and I feel like we didn't run in the same crowd, obviously, until
No.
senior year. We did that. We did the one musical that I ever did in my life. We
Which
did
one? Bye
Bye
bye.
Bye Birdie,
But I
and
got
you had
kicked out of that, remember?
what?
Yeah.
You
No,
had
I
the
think
lead. You
you
were
replaced you replaced me. No.
no, no. You must be thinking of a different musical or play or something because
No,
you were the lead and I was like the secondary, like not
we
the
didn't
lead,
do
but
that. Wait, Bye Bye Birdie. I
you
got
were
kicked
the
off.
Elvis character. Oh my God, no, it
That
was
was
Miles.
Miles. Yeah, I got
Oh,
kicked out of that one.
I didn't know, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Back to you said like going into high school, you remember like not being nice to me or whatever.
I.
What was your experience like with any kind of bullying or people not being nice to you in high school?
That only happened my freshman year, and really the only one I remember because he knocked the books out of my hand one day and called me a fag was Mark Besh,
Mark Bash,
who
yeah.
ended up becoming one of my sister's husbands later in life.
Oh my God.
And he
Pure
swears,
irony.
and he and I are like this now, but he swears that never happened. I'm like, Mark, I lived it. I know it did.
Hey, I remember he was a little bitch in high
He
school.
was. He
Yeah.
was awful. He thought he was so cool. Yeah, but
Um,
I don't remember that bullying really that much.
yeah, that's good. That's good. And I just was curious about that because I did experience what I considered or felt like a lot, and not by a lot of people. Like I said, our school is really small, and I was never bullied by like any jock guys. They were mostly just kind of ambiguous to me, like not super friendly, not mean, just kind of normal or whatever. But it was like these peripheral people that like would call me names, or I think probably call me gay or fag sometimes. And I guess I won't name people. You recently brought somebody's name up that at a reunion you had an experience with. He was
Oh
one of
yeah,
them. He was one of them that would
really?
like call me names and like he and
I don't
yeah,
remember him being like that.
and I feel like I mean obviously they saw something that I knew was true. Um,
Yeah.
all of that. But yeah, I and some of it happened for me at church camp as well with some of the tough guys or whatever. But high school there was enough to where it does make me look back and feel like that was part of me shaming myself was because of what some of these guys would say to me.
Right.
So I was just curious about if you experienced any of that. And probably because you were, I mean, it was pretty, I don't know if you were like open and out, but I mean, it was pretty clear
No,
that you were probably gay.
I never even considered myself gay. I didn't, this was the 80s. I didn't, even though Miles and I had this
I have a mild story, but
relationship for a long time.
wait, relationship or friendship?
Well, kind of relationship in high school,
No, I remember this. I remember that.
but I didn't know anybody else knew other than Tracy Mayhew.
And that's when I think that's probably like so for me, I always kind of saw you this way and not I don't mean that derogatory, but
Right.
so when it looked like you were with Miles, it was like it made sense. It was like, yeah, they're a couple.
But we never broadcast that or said anything
Right.
about
Right.
that. We were just kind of, and we were kids. We didn't know. I was 16.
Right. But I do remember having feelings younger. I do remember being attracted to, and I say it's not just in a sexual way because when you're that young, you don't really know what sex is or what it means or what you're feeling. But I was attracted in all the other ways, emotionally and intellectually, and just drawn to boys and girls in a different way. Girls in like a fun, let's be best friends kind of way.
You told me one time when we were kids, and this is kids talking. You said, "Now listen, I just found out that when you pee white, that means you've gone through puberty." So one day, I go to the bathroom to pee, and my pee wasn't really bright yellow. So I thought, "Oh my God, I'm through puberty." I go and call you on the phone. I'm like, "You're not going to believe this. But I went through puberty. I just peed white."
White people.
You were probably like, "Yes." I kind of even think I remember your phone number. Was it 3202?
Yes,
Is
because
that
my
crazy?
that's crazy
I'm
because
telling
my
you.
grandmother's was 3200
Yours was 3.
522 5261 was it 614? Yeah,
Yeah.
614,
Yeah.
not
522
740 yet. 522-3202.
3202.
Yes. That's insane that you remember those.
It's creepy. It's creepy.
What are you doing now?
Hair.
You obviously do guys and girls?
Mm-hmm. Well, hair.
Hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have my own studio, so I do, and I've done, gosh, 20 years. So I've done the same people forever. Great little business. I am self-employed, so I make my own schedule.
Where is it?
I live in Grove City.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Love that. And
Yeah.
then obviously your studio is there as well.
Yeah.
Cool. I
Yeah.
live in Brazil.
I heard.
It's amazing. It's crazy. I would have never imagined
Is gay marriage legal there?
a million years. It is. We actually
Oh,
got
it
married
is.
here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Crazy.
So much. Wow, man. I really glad you reached out.
Yeah.
So and there's a lot more stories in there.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, it's 37 years. That's crazy. Crazy.
Tell me, okay, we'll finish with this, and then we can talk other times, call, stay in touch. Tell me about your husband now. You're married, right?
I'm getting married. In
Congratulations.
December. Yeah, we're going down to Mel Snyder. She lives in Melbourne.
Oh, you said she got
So she got
ordained
ordained.
online.
So
Cool.
we're going to go down and do it on Satellite Beach. He's from Pataskala. I'm sure you remember Pataskala.
Of course.
That's where he went to school. He grew up. He's 3 years younger than me. Very laid back. Very man's man. Works in a warehouse. He's just cool. And we get along so well. He doesn't get on my nerves, which is unusual.
Wow. Really nice.
That's a big one. And he's just cool. We're kind of almost like we're good friends and lovers. So it's
Great.
It's perfect.
No, it's really, really good.
So I'm happy with my little country boy.
That's so nice, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
When is it happening?
December 1st.
Well, man, it's been so good talking with you, reconnecting.
It's awesome. We can text, we can whatever.
Yes. This can be the beginning of the friendship we should have always had.
We should have always had.
Right.
And I will blame myself for that because I think
don't. I mean, I think just high school
that was stupid.
went different ways. But I remember, like, you were one of, if not my best friend in elementary.
We were besties.
Yeah.
Totally. Do you remember we used to play Charlie's Angels on the playground?
Oh my God, yes.
You
actually played
always
this
had
at
to be
church,
Farrah Fawcett.
I had a group of girlfriends. Oh, they were only girls at church, and we played the same thing when I was little. We played Charlie's Angels. You said I would only be Farrah Fawcett?
You would only allow yourself to be Farrah Fawcett. So we called you Jill, or I did. I don't remember who else played with us.
I remember at church,
and I was
always
Sabrina, who would have been 3rd grade when we were doing that.
And I think that all of this inner shame, and then like this a few group of boys calling me, started like in elementary school, because I was still, I don't know, girly and doing girly things and acting kind of stereotypical.
You're not
gay.
at all. You're not.
Okay, but then middle school, I realized how I felt, and I knew what was going on, and so I worked very hard to be masculine. Like, even to where I would change my voice, like change the way I talk, be very aware of what I'm doing with my hands or my arms and how I walked and how I sat, everything. Like, hypersensitive to, I don't want to look gay. I don't want to sound gay.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I still need to do therapy. Sometimes I think I'm healed or I'm doing good with something, and then something will trigger me. It comes back up, and I'm like, okay, I still need to pay attention to that, or I still need to do healing work or talk to a therapist about that. Anyway.
I have a good idea.
Okay. Sounds good.
We're all going on a cruise next October. I think you should go.
Next October, a year from now.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Okay. Is
Yeah, we'll stay connected.
absolutely. I'm not worried about it. Your stuff.
So good to talk to you, man.
You
One
too.
last thing. It's
Yeah.
so freaking hot here. This sweatshirt is completely unnecessary. It's just for aesthetic, for if I use this on my podcast. And you won't believe what is below. Speedo.
You're hilarious. Is that a Speedo or underwear?
That's a Speedo.
Okay.
Because I plan to hit the beach today.
I believe it.
Okay. So,
All right.
so
We'll
good
chat.
talking to you, man.
You too, buddy.
Have a great day.
You too.
And tell your sister hello. Anybody else?
I will. And Mel said this morning, we were texting. I said, I'm going to have a video chat with Bart today. She said, oh my God, please send him my love.
Okay, return it.
I absolutely will. I will.
Send it back.
All right.
Okay, man. Talk to you soon.
Okie doke.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So that was a childhood friend, and it was amazing to reconnect. Hope you enjoyed some of our conversation and got a little bit out of it. Until next time, this is On Straight with Mitch. I know he just called me Bart, but that's who I was for most of my life, and I went to using my middle name, Mitch. I just prefer it to Bart. But anyway, thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day.